Well, hello, America. Here's the one thing tonight. The news is history. It is not what's happening, but what has happened. You know, except on TV, once in a while we'll see something that is happening live, but usually it's what happened today. And history is only important if you have some sort of perspective, but you ain't getting it on most television networks. It's like a weather forecast. Would you listen to me if I was like the weather forecaster? I'm like, oh, it was a crazy day in New York yesterday. It was 67 degrees yesterday in New York, 88 in Atlanta. Woo! Was it hot and rainy in Miami, too. And we had some thunderstorms over there. This is harder than it looked. Would you listen to this? You wouldn't listen to a word of it because it was yesterday's weather forecast. You were already caught in the rain without an umbrella. So now what good is it to get that weather report tomorrow or today for yesterday? It's the same with the news. It's over and done with. If you continually focus on what has already been done, you're going to miss what's coming next. You know, it doesn't take a genius to see what's coming next. I meet an awful lot of people. I talk to a lot of people. I get a lot of mail. I mean, man, we're all on the lunatic fringe of what's coming next. It doesn't take an awful lot to see it. You just have to stop denying it. It only takes a change in perspective and a willingness to think with an open mind. I want to show you something. This is some of the stuff that I saw coming. Now, this is the stuff I saw coming here in the last few years. Because you may not know who I am. Remember, everybody called me crazy. Fine. I'm totally fine to live with that. This is some of the things that I've said. November 2006. I said that Israel was going to be alone when it came to Iran. We were going to abandon them. The whole world would abandon them. This is coming true, and this is going to be wildly dangerous. In 2006, October, they will first bail out the banks, then transportation, and then energy. Well, I got the bank part right. In October 2006, when everyone was still saying, what, there's no problem, we have no problem. October 2007, an economic tsunami is coming our way. January 2008, I stand by this one, ethanol sucks. We would figure that out. We haven't yet, but we're getting close. 2007, Tom Brady would date a supermodel. I don't think I actually said that one. 2 years ago, I warned of a depression. I said that we were headed towards European-style health care. In 2004, I said, ready for this one? This is a year before it happened. New Orleans would be underwater due to the levees because they weren't built right. I called New Orleans the most dangerous city in America. In 1998, Osama bin Laden, I actually read this guy's words. In 1998, I was on the air and I said, listen to this man. Listen to it. And everybody was dismissing. All the conservatives were coming out of the woodwork. Oh, you're just trying to just help the Clinton administration. I said, I don't care about the Clinton administration. Blood and bodies will be on the streets in New York. My quote was, will you then want to fight terrorism? September 2008, Obama will march to socialism. Well, now, let me ask you something. Critics love to dismiss me or anybody like me. Why? Because I tell you that you should be prepared for things, that you should look, you should think the unthinkable. Maybe some of this will happen. Is there any difference between ABC running a special called Earth 2100, this is the final century of our civilization, and me running a show called The War Room, a special talking about scenarios that are far more likely to occur? Is there something crazy about doing the show that I'm going to do tonight? No. No, there's not. But there's not any honest debate anymore. There's nobody giving you perspective anymore. Americans are just accepting whatever is being fed to them. When will the rest of America wake up? Instead of helplessly getting all the old news, change your perspective. Look, think the unthinkable, and see what is coming our way, possibly. I mean, you know what? Let me just give you an economic forecast. This is the way they do it in the weather forecast. Let me just give you the economic forecast for 5 years from now. Let's see. Tomorrow, there's a good chance of heavy crying. A good chance you're going to need your blankie in the evening. Heading towards the weekend, it's going to rain cats and dogs, literally. And so then M&M shower later on Saturday. You'll also be facing desperation all day long on Sunday, total darkness and a 10% of humidity. And on Monday, scattered raping and pillaging with an 8% chance of cannibalism. There's your forecast. Look, I know the things that I talk about on this program don't want to look at the future. You don't want to think about these things. Do you think I do? People will tell you that, oh yeah, he just wants to have the big ratings. Really? There's a lot other. I could have Miss California on every day. That's good for the ratings. You think I want to do that? I would much rather do that. We need to start paying attention to the low pressure systems that are peeking over the horizon, like GM, the bankruptcy, giant progressive health care, tobacco being regulated like crazy, a pay czar today regulating the top 100 jobs in bailed out companies, and you think they're going to stop there? If you don't notice these things, then the freedom-loving America that you grew up with is going to be old news. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. No one hopes they're wrong more than me. And you know what? You can call me crazy all you want. Fine, I don't care. Sometimes the weathermen are wrong. Have you noticed that? Actually, they're wrong a lot of the time. Yet, people still listen, and they bring an umbrella when the forecast calls for rain. What's up with that? Because it sometimes doesn't rain. If you have your umbrella, you'll be okay. Things will turn out fine. Maybe things will turn out fine too without an umbrella. Maybe accumulating more debt in 6 months than in the last 6 months than we have in the last 30 years are going to turn out to be sunshine and lollipops. Maybe the government's going to make the best automaker in the entire world. But I ain't counting on it. I'm bringing an umbrella. If that makes me the crazy guy on TV, good. I guess it's the place I want to be. But don't say I didn't warn you. Let's bring in Charles Payne. He's the CEO of WallStreet.com, which is an independent stock market research firm, and Ryan Ellis. He's the tax policy director for Americans for Tax Reform. Guys, I don't even know where to start here today. I guess we just start with the top of the news. A pay czar now, Charles? A pay czar.
A pay czar. But the Obama administration doesn't want to control pay.
No, they just have to because things are out of control.
Yeah, no, this is really crazy, and of course, this is just a very tip of the iceberg of this whole thing. And Glenn, the one key component about the Obama administration throughout the campaign that was evident is that he feels that corporate America simply makes too much money. Now, granted, Wall Street was greedy. They put themselves in a position to open this up, and that's why they have it. And there's a big difference between last year, Vikram Pandit making $38 million for Citigroup. No one in Citigroup should have made $38 million. By the same token, talk of $400 grand a year or bonuses 1/3 your salary in a competitive industry like this are outrageous.
They're going to go over. They're going to go overseas. So I just want to, with both of you guys, what I want to do is just go to the future. So Charles, where are we headed? Where are we headed with the pay czar?
I sincerely believe that if they can have it their way, their blueprint would be to have a pay czar control all pay at all companies. Not just companies that were bailed out with TARP money, but all corporations will have some sort of contract with the public or some sort of clause that says you can't make too much money. I really believe this is the slope we're on, and it's more than a slippery slope. It goes straight down. And you start with these companies because obviously AIG and Citigroup are easy targets. But you move from that to the drug industry. Oil goes to $100 a barrel, another easy target. Before you know it, it's all corporations. All corporations.
You can't waste it. You cannot waste an opportunity or an emergency.
Someone said that.
Ryan, do you agree with that?
Well, yeah. And the one thing I would add is the thing that's missing from Obama's pay czar, missing from all of his accusations that CEOs make too much, is how much it costs to hire a government employee. Barack Obama is someone that spent his entire life in government, and at Americans for Tax Reform, people can find this study on atr.org, we calculated how much it costs to hire a federal employee. And over the course of a federal employee's working career, it costs between $2 and $11 million for each new federal employee that you hire. And in the Obama budget, he's called for hiring several 100,000 new federal employees. You don't see that in the pay czar. You don't see that, but that's what taxpayers are paying for.
Yeah, let me just go through some of the average salary for the senators and representatives, $174,000. Barney Frank, if I'm not mistaken, Barney Frank's never held down a private sector job, has he?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think he's been in government his whole life.